What's up, your boy Vaughn, another reaction. In today's video, we have every perfect performance in football history by top bins. Uh, y'all know how niggas be talking about a nigga had like 4 goals and two assists, and that nigga still wouldn't have a 10 perfect rating. Then nigga have a 9.9. What the hell do a nigga gotta do to get a 10 rating? Like a 9.9. What do a nigga gotta do to get a 10? Like,
France is one of the most
what
respected
football performances got a 10?
football magazines in the entire world. And for decades, they've rated football players week in, week out for their match performances. But since the year 2000, only 17 football players have achieved a perfect 10 out of 10 score. But what did these
Yeah, I gotta see this, bro.
players have to do to get that perfect 10? How impressive were these performances actually? And did L'Équipe get their ratings right? Well, starting with the first perfect performance in this list, it took L'Équipe 10 years to award a perfect 10 out of 10 after the year 2000. Their critics are so harsh that even Zidane's legendary World Cup quarterfinal display against Brazil,
That didn't get a 10 out of 10.
Gerrard's heroics in the 2005 Champions League final, and Ronaldinho's 2005 El Clasico brilliance were overlooked. But when Lionel Messi tore apart Arsenal in the 2010 Champions League quarterfinal second leg, the French newspaper couldn't have given the Argentine anything other than a 10. The Gunners arrived at the Camp Nou thinking they had a fighting chance after earning a 2-2 draw in the first leg, but returned to London utterly humiliated. Arsenal
No,
went
them Arsenal jerseys clean. Them shit's clean.
a goal ahead on the night, taking the aggregate score to 3-2. With Barcelona facing a shock early elimination, Messi delivered one of his greatest performances of all time. Leo leveled the tie with a banger from outside the box after 21 minutes before latching onto a loose ball and producing a cool finish to send Barca 4-3 up before halftime. Guardiola's side looks set for yet another
This nigga the GOAT, by the way, y'all.
Champions League semi-final date, but Messi wasn't ready yet. The eventual 8-time Ballon d'Or winner bagged his hat-trick by chipping Almunia and notched
Again, this nigga got 8 Ballon d'Ors. I know he robbed. You could say he robbed a couple, but bro, he's still one of them bitches though.
a fourth time by sticking it through his legs. Messi's performance was so legendary, Arsenal boss Arsene Wenger claimed, "Messi is like a PlayStation player. He can punish any mistake, make a difference at any moment." And the French gaffer wasn't exaggerating, because 2 years later,
Lionel Messi. Who's the best player right now? Lionel Messi.
Leo earned another 10 out of 10 rating from L'Équipe, but this time
Nah, these niggas just glazing Messi. Stop it, bro. They glazing.
against Bayer Leverkusen.
That
It was
game.
the beginning of arguably the Argentines' greatest ever season, as he'd go on to score 91 goals over the calendar year. Incredibly, he'd score 5 of them against the German Champions League opposition. Messi's 5-goal Camp Nou haul was reminiscent of his 4-goal evening against Arsenal a couple of years earlier. He chipped Leverkusen keeper Bernd Leno twice, smashed one in from outside the box, and produced 2 neat finishes from close range. Messi was evolving into a football immortal.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy, by the way. 91 goals, and nobody haven't came close to that shit yet. Like,
He played with the freedom of a blissful kid in the playground as he danced past international footballers in front of 98,000 mesmerized Barcelona supporters. Even though Messi finished his career in Europe with 4 Champions Leagues and a World Cup, the 2012 evening against Leverkusen would be the final time the Argentine would receive a perfect 10 from L'Équipe. But if in his entire career he was unable to get another perfect score despite some truly amazing performances, what exactly could any other player do to get that rating? Well, Robert Lewandowski had something to say about it in 2013 as Borussia Dortmund faced Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. Los Blancos had Ronaldo, Alonso, and Ozil in their star-studded team, and earning a place in the tournament's
he had a hat trick this game. I'm pretty sure Lewandowski.
final appeared straightforward until they met Lewandowski. The Polish striker played like a man possessed as Klopp's Dortmund chased Madrid off the hallowed Signal Iduna Park turf. The forward scored his first by latching onto a cross with a volley, added another through a smart turn and finished past Diego Lopez, and bagged his hat-trick with a striker's finish from 8 yards out. Madrid had already been humbled, but the future Barca star wanted to bury them. He smashed home a 4th from the penalty spot as Dortmund
The
marched.
fact this nigga still good, he just had a game-winning goal yesterday, and this nigga 38 is insane. That showed me like nigga Messi could still play in Europe. Y'all think Ronaldo? I don't know about Ronaldo, but Ronaldo still banging goals in Saudi.
to Wembley for the 2013 Champions League final,
No,
concluding
I want to see Messi in the Saudi league, bro. Like Messi and Ronaldo game in the Saudi game, in Saudi league,
a 10 out of 10 display. Now,
and they offer Messi a bag. Like Messi just ain't won't go out there.
most of the players on this list are the big players you'd expect to get a 10 out of
I know Messi love Miami. This shit probably remind him of Spain.
10 rating. But what about a player who isn't considered as one of the greatest of all time? Well, 25-year-old midfielder Carlos Eduardo would be that player, because back in 2014, after an uninspiring spell with FC Porto, the Brazilian was loaned out to Ligue 1 club Nice, where he started the season with just 1 goal in the opening 5 matches. So, what on earth did Eduardo eat for breakfast on the morning of his 5-goal display against Guingamp in 2014? His performance was so mesmerizing, it was as if he possessed the finishing of countryman Ronaldo Nazario, the power of Roberto Carlos, and the coolness of Kaká all at once. Eduardo's first goal was a 30-yard bending free kick. His second was an intricate finish from inside the box. After 34 minutes, he completed an unexpected hat-trick with a close-range volley. The uncapped Brazil star made 2 more clinical finishes that afternoon, appearing like a composed striker who scores 30 goals every season. Yet, it turned out to be a one-off. Eduardo only scored 4 goals in the remaining 23 Ligue 1 games of 14-15, but he'll still always be remembered as one of the few players to be awarded a 10 out of 10 rating from L'Equipe. Eduardo truly sits alongside footballing royalty, because it took the French paper 4 years to hand out another 10 out of 10 rating, this time for a better-known Brazilian sensation, Neymar Jr. The former Barca man lit up.
Nobody really talk about PSG Neymar because it's League One, but that was really his best years.
Ligue 1 during 17-18, producing 44 goal involvements in 30 matches for Paris Saint-Germain. But Neymar Jr. saved his most mesmerizing evening for a home clash with Dijon, bagging 4 goals. Stats rarely do Neymar's grace justice, and his display during the 8-0 drubbing of Dijon is no exception. The winger played like an artist, with each involvement showing unrivaled finesse. Neymar's first key moment was an assist for Di Maria. He intricately chipped the ball over the keeper to the fellow South American, who tapped the ball home to make it 1-0. Then, Neymar got his name on the score sheet with a well-placed free kick from 25 yards. He was clearly feeling himself more than usual that night, because he celebrated by dancing with his glove balanced on his head. Neymar added another from a simple finish, a third from a solo run that could have won a Puskás, and a final goal from the penalty spot. The Brazilian was mustard, and Dijon were toast. But it would be another year before L'Equipe's elusive.
That nigga had 44 goals in the season, in the League One season. You would expect Dembele or you expect Dembele, Carvage, Shalia to have that. Like y'all be thinking like I don't know what the fuck.
Perfect score appeared again, this time not in France.
What I'm trying to say, you would expect Dembele to be scoring that. Dembele Ballon d'Or season, how many goals the nigga had? The nigga, let me see. I know right now Dembele got like 14 goals. You would expect, it's League One. Why them niggas not putting up 44 goals? Why them niggas not dominating? Y'all be thinking League One easier than what it is. Let me see. What that nigga Ballon d'Or? Oh, 35 goals and 16 assists. Okay, that ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. 35 goals and 16 assists. Alright. I thought his shit was lower than that. Alright, 35 goals, 16 assists. Alright. He do deserve the Ballon d'Or though. He do. After what, bro, this nigga coming alive right now. That nigga scored 2 banger goals yesterday, my nigga. In like mid season, we in fucking April, June. That nigga come alive. He might win the Ballon d'Or again. I don't know.
but on one of European football's biggest stages. A young Ajax team traveled to Real Madrid's Bernabeu Stadium in the Champions League without many expecting the
I don't begin what niggas be talking about when they say Dembele the worst Ballon d'Or winner ever. Like, chill. Niggas in the 2000s was winning Ballon d'Or having 14 goals. Like, be for real.
Dutch side to snatch a result. Madrid had won the last 16 first leg, and few doubted they'd progress to the quarters. But, like Dortmund 6 years earlier, Ajax had a star player who'd do more than level the playing field, and this man was Dusan Tadic. The Serbian forward scored once and assisted twice as Ajax pulled off a shock 4-1 victory over Los Blancos, with Tadic embodying the flair and creativity that the two
Yeah, that Ajax team, bro, that was a good team, bro.
time European Cup
Them niggas could have made the final.
winners wowed with.
Then they in 2018 them niggas lost the Spurs.
Among the former Southampton forward's most impressive moments came after 18 minutes when a 360-degree spin and clever through ball unlocked David Neres, who tapped the ball past the keeper to make it 2-0 on the night. After 63 minutes, Tadic added a third as he showed excellent technique and trickery on the edge of the box again before smashing the ball into the net to kickstart Ajax's knockout stage 1 to the semis. The Dutch side pulled off another shock victory in the quarters, beating Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus and faced Spurs in the semis. Ajax's array of
I think Spurs knocked them out.
young talents humiliated Spurs in the first leg with a 1-0 victory, and they'd extend their aggregate lead to 3-0 by the 35th minute of the second leg. Believe it or not, Spurs were among Europe's most exciting teams at the time. Being beaten so convincingly by Dutch opposition almost seemed unthinkable. The North London club desperately needed a star to save the
What this nigga at? Nah, this ball nigga Lucas.
day. Heads turned to Heung-min Son, Dele Alli, and Christian Eriksen, but the star-studded trio
Look at that team, bro.
looked shell-shocked. But nobody would have expected Brazilian winger Lucas Moura to be the man who would drag Spurs from the brink of elimination to victory. But that's exactly what he did when he earned his 10 out of 10 rating from L'Equipe. He scored quick-fire goals in the 55th and 59th minutes to put Ajax under pressure. Despite the pressure, the
Crushed them nigga spirit.
Amsterdam club remained strong and looked set to confirm a place in the Champions League final until stoppage time. And in just about the final kick of the game, Moura latched onto a loose ball on the edge of Ajax's box and rolled it past Onana to complete his hat-trick and pull off one of the greatest
Onana?
Champions League comebacks of all time. Ed, if you can
That
single-handedly
nigga Onana been BJ.
take a team more renowned for bottling big games than winning trophies to the Champions League final, there's no doubt that you're deserving of a 10 out of
These niggas ain't been this good ever since.
10 rating. Unsurprisingly, Tottenham were unable to win the Champions League final against Liverpool, and it wouldn't be long before crisis talks bubbled in North London. They were no longer among Europe's elite sides, and that was confirmed when former gunner Serge Gnabry came to town with Bayern in the following season's Champions League. The Bavarian side were imperious and charged their way to a 7-2 victory, but this scoreline might have been slightly more respectable had the German winger not been on the pitch. He struck 4 times as Bayern Munich announced themselves as genuine Champions League contenders. They'd go on to win the tournament later that season, and the confidence Gnabry inspired in them was critical. He dribbled 30 yards and smashed home his first goal of the night before completing 3 more smart finishes to wrap up an excellent 7-2 win. L'Equipe must have had a different editorial team in 2019 because after giving out 3 10 out of 10 ratings during the final year of the 2010s, it took them until 2021 to award another. Lewandowski had an insane season and produced multiple 4-goal displays, but was overlooked by the French publication. Yet when their nation's star attacker Kylian Mbappe
Probably because this Bundesliga, and I ain't gonna say Bundesliga easy league, but probably because it's Bundesliga.
They found the back of the net 4 times during an 8-0 win against Kazakhstan. It was impossible for L'Equipe to ignore his brilliance.
But nigga, y'all get this a 10 out of 10 performance, nigga. This Kazakhstan, them niggas ain't good at no damn football, nigga. Them niggas known for MMA, producing Russian wrestlers. Like,
The electric forward opened his account after 5 minutes, producing a finish for 15 yards that he made
again, look at these niggas' defense, like.
look effortless. Mbappe poked home his second after 12 minutes and secured his hat-trick with a header after half an hour.
He have pace and power.
His final goal demonstrated the Frenchman's pace and movement as an intelligent off-ball run gave Mbappe space to find the back of the net for a fourth time that
Man, that nigga just too fast, bro.
evening. But while the attacker's performance was mesmerizing, does it really deserve to be considered among the greatest individual displays of the 21st century? After
Like, no. Like, it's against Kyrgyzstan, gang.
all, Kazakhstan is hardly a footballing superpower. Yet, given that Mbappe is clearly capable of humiliating lesser opponents, stopping the PSG forward from tearing your team apart is impressive. That's what non-goalkeeper Alban Lafont did in 2022 when his expert shot stopping helped his team to an unlikely 3-1 victory over the Parisians. PSG lined up with a star-studded attack of Neymar,
It's just
Mbappe and Messi, each of whom seemed as determined as ever to get on the score sheet. The Ligue 1 dominators created
as a PSG fan, bro, this shit was fun as hell to watch, bro. This was fun to watch.
an XG 3.93
Though we ain't win no Champions League, this shit was fun as hell to watch. Fun team.
and made 9 shots on goal during the match, but Lafont's heroics ensured PSG only found the back of the net on a solitary occasion. The keeper saved a penalty from Neymar and stopped close-range efforts from Messi and Mbappe to secure his team a
Man, that nigga blocking Mbappe, Neymar shots, Messi shots.
vital 3 points as they moved away from the relegation zone. But arguably, no goalkeepers in the world stand a chance when Erling Haaland is on form, and when the Norwegian arrived in the Premier League during the summer of 2022, he took his game to another level. Haaland found the back of the net on 11
This was a crazy year. This was a crazy year.
occasions in his opening 9 Premier League fixtures, but he saved his most devastating display for the Manchester Derby in October. The summer arrival showed his aerial strength by scoring a header after 34 minutes to make the score 2-0 before adding a second 3 minutes later with a lunging left-footed effort. City were up 3-0 on the Manchester rivals, but they'd become accustomed to routine victories over United and wanted to truly humiliate them. Haaland added City's 5th of the day with a powerful effort from inside the box after 64 minutes, and they'd go on to win the Derby 6-3 after taking their
Watching this season unfold, this was a crazy ass year. This is his first year, y'all.
foot off the gas in the final stages of the game. The former Dortmund striker would end the season with
And
a
he done won everything. The Champions League, Premier League, he done won everything. He's still young.
record-breaking 36 Premier League goals, and his clinical display in the Manchester Derby was ranked as his most impressive domestic display by L'Equipe. That doesn't mean Haaland was quite in the Champions League, though, but we'll get to that later. Because before the Norwegian dominated Europe with City, the 22-23 club season paused for the World Cup, and Brazil were among the favorites to win the tournament with a lethal front line featuring Neymar, Vinicius Jr., and Rafinha looked set to bulldoze Croatia in the quarterfinals. But the overachieving Balkan nation is no stranger to causing an upset, particularly when Luka
What happened to that nigga? The nigga with the mask. That nigga was so hyped up. I
overachieving
remember
Balkan
Messi
nation
did
is
this nigga dirty. Him. Like, what his
no stranger
what
to
club he at? Ain't that nigga named Garth Dahl? I forgot his name.
causing an upset, particularly when Luka Modric is pulling the strings. Yet it wasn't the 2018 Ballon d'Or winner who'd steal the headlines on this occasion, but goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic. The then 27-year-old goalkeeper played insanely during normal time, preventing numerous efforts from inside the box and prompting the commentator to dub Livakovic as the Croatian Wall. After inspiring his team to a 1-1 draw after extra time, the stopper saved a penalty from Rodrigo as Croatia advanced to the World Cup semis. We can't think of another goalkeeping display during the 21st century that was more impressive than Livakovic's against Brazil, and
Goddamn, time go by so fast. I'm watching this, bro.
neither could L'Equipe, which awarded the stopper a 10 out of 10 rating. But back in club football, Guardiola's Man City took their game up another notch, and Haaland was the driving force behind it all. City met German side RB Leipzig in a game that should have been a nervy Champions League last 16 match, but the 6'5"
Th-
League side away.
This was the game when the nigga had like 6 goals and them niggas subbed him out
with
That nigga Pep ain't want him breaking Messi record.
5 goals in the space of 35 minutes as
Yep.
City smashed Leipzig 7-0. Haaland became only the third player after Lionel Messi and Luis Adriano to score 5 goals in a single Champions League game, making a 10 out of 10 rating for L'Equipe almost inevitable. The Norwegian opened the scoring with a penalty before bagging a header a few minutes later. Haaland scored 3 more close-range finishes to complete his 5-goal haul. His performance was less artistic and technically beautiful than that of other players who had
Nigga just sit in a damn box. Nigga a box, like he a poacher. That's what they call it. Nigga just sit in a box all day.
achieved 10 out of 10 ratings from the French publication, but the ruthless and clinical nature of Haaland made him impossible to handle. City would go on to win its first Champions League trophy later that season, with Haaland netting on 12 occasions. But L'Equipe's only 10 out of 10 rating for a Europa League display came the following season as Atalanta met Bayer Leverkusen in the 2024 final. Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen lifted an unbeaten Bundesliga title and were considered strong favorites to beat their Italian opposition in the final. But English-born forward Ademola Lookman was not unsettled by Florian Wirtz and company as he stole the headlines, producing an incredible hat-trick and lifting the trophy for Atalanta. In doing so, he became the first player to bag a hat-trick in a Europa League final, and some of the finishes were truly spectacular. The former Everton striker's opening goal was a...
And he at Atletico Madrid now, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, at Atletico Madrid.
Tap in from just outside the 6-yard box, sparking jubilant celebrations from the Atalanta faithful. Lookman's second strike saw him jockey with the ball, beat a defender, and power the ball into the net from range. Suddenly, the underdogs had one hand on their first European silverware. He completed his hat-trick and confirmed Atalanta's historic victory by receiving the ball just outside the box, pulling off a devastating step-over to bamboozle the defender and smashing the ball into the Leverkusen net. It's arguably the greatest European final performance of the 21st century, and the dream performance is undoubtedly deserving of a 10 out of 10 rating. But now for the third goalkeeper on this list, it seems like L'Equipe ranks goalkeeping heroics against PSG as highly as 3, 4, and 5 goal hauls in European competitions, and Auxerre stopper Donovan Leon became the next goalkeeper to receive a 10 out of 10 rating for keeping the Parisians at bay. The then 32-year-old stopper made 11 saves against the league leaders to earn his newly promoted side an unlikely 0-0 draw against the likes of Ousmane Dembélé, Bradley Barcola, and Desiree Doué. His goalkeeping heroics are even more impressive when you consider the heights that the PSG team would reach during the 24-25 season, because they lifted Ligue 1 and Champions League titles later that campaign. PSG were devastating in the Champions League, beating Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal on their way to the final, and, incredibly,
I think that team is the greatest Champions League team ever. I ain't gonna lie. And it have been nah, you got them Barcelona teams. We giving some teams, some historic Champions League teams, some problems if we played them. I ain't gonna lie.
the Paris club didn't peak until the finale because they thrashed
like that attack, bro. The attack too unstoppable, my nigga.
Italian outfit Inter Milan 5-0, where one young man picked up a 10 out of 10 rating for the performance. It was a record-breaking Champions League final victory as PSG passed the ball from side to side as if they were prime Barcelona, and their star man was undoubtedly young French winger Desiree Doué. With the likes of Ousmane Dembélé and Bradley Barcola in PSG's attacking line, Doué had to be patient to receive consistent minutes in key matches during 24-25, but he snuck into the starting 11 for the final against Inter and made an instant impact. He made his first contribution of the evening by turning elegantly inside the box and squaring the ball to Hakimi, who tapped the ball into the empty net. Doué had all but sealed PSG's first Champions League triumph inside 20 minutes as he received the ball on the edge of the box and powered the ball past the helpless Inter Milan stopper. However, European final
Inter Milan, I don't know how them niggas made it that far. Game, like we dogged these niggas. Like Lamine Yamal dogged them niggas too. Like
rarely unravel and turn into a thrashing.
It's just that Barcelona defense was just so terrible. Like
point, but the brilliant teenage winger had other ideas. He produced audacious skill moves like PSG's last great winger Neymar, but unlike his predecessor, had the big game mentality to make all-important goal-scoring contributions. Do I score?
Hold on, don't disrespect Neymar now. Watch your mouth. Neymar show up in big games sometimes.
PSG's third after 62 minutes, all but destroying any chance of an Inter comeback. It was one of the greatest Champions League performances of all time, and undoubtedly the best teenage display in the finals history. L'Equipe rated a handful of players 8 out of 10, but Doué was head and shoulders above every player on the pitch that night and earned his 10 out of 10 rating without much disagreement. But another PSG player received a perfect 10 from the French publication a few months later as the Parisians tore apart to lose 6-3. Portuguese
Yeah,
midfielder
this was a crazy hat trick.
João Neves was instrumental in the drubbing, scoring 3 times. Whenever a midfielder bags a hat trick, it's likely to catch some headlines, but it was the nature of Neves' 3-goal haul that earned him a 10 out of 10 rating
Yeah, like
from L'Equipe. The PSG star's first was an overhead kick where he juggled the ball twice before slamming it over his head as if he were messing around on the playground. 6 minutes later, he hit an even more extraordinary
a hell of a player. I'm doing a Floyd Mayweather, a hell of a player, hell of a baller.
overhead kick, this time controlling the ball with his chest and smashing it in from 12 yards. But the Champions League winning midfielder's skill set extends far beyond overhead kicks, as he proved when he completed his hat-trick with a powerful finish from outside the box. It was arguably the greatest hat-trick scored during the 21st century, with each goal requiring an audacious level of technical skill. Now, with all the ratings out of the way, it does seem like L'Equipe's ratings might be slightly disproportionately weighted on Ligue 1 and PSG stars, but it is undeniable that the Paris club has had players
Yeah, because it's French. It's a French publication.
who produced unforgettable performances this century. But now the question is, do you agree with their list, or was there another performance
Yeah, gang, why y'all ain't give Zidane performance against Brazil in the 2008 World Cup? Why y'all ain't give that a damn 10 out of 10? That was the 2008 World Cup, right? No. Yeah, that was 2008. Yeah. No. What year that was? 2009? No, that was 2006. Yeah, that was 2006 with that boy Dog Brazil like that. Yeah, quarterfinals. Yeah, that was 2006. But Michelle comes for sure happened about 2 6.